water, we're good to go. And again, I always prep my family before we go out. We always sit down and we talk about it. And if we're going in the evening, we stay on the main roads. We don't venture deep into the swampy area where, the chances, of getting separated or lost or, could be a problem.
Right. So tell me, I understand that you took a cryptozoology college class at the Florida Keys Community College. What did you learn there?
Mostly just all the basics about that there's, they're not just Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
You have other animals out there, aquatic animals like, champ, and of course in Canada you got Ogopogo.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got what they call alien animals, and which is animals that kind of seem like they may have been, more of an extraterrestrial. And you got what they call misplaced animals, which are animals that shouldn't be in a certain area. There was a popular story about a mongoose that was located in Kentucky, and there was a kangaroo sighted, I think someplace in Kansas. So I learned a little bit more about, more into what the different categories of the different what they call them cryptids in cryptozoology, the undiscovered animals.
I understand you also have a keen interest in UFOs and extraterrestrials. Where did this interest come from?
It started when I watched that movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I just started, I saw the movie, and then I picked up a couple magazines and started realizing that there was, quite a big, fan base on that. So there was a lot of people that had an interest in ufology. Later on, me and my wife, we joined MUFON, and for a while there, I signed on as an investigator, but I had to stop because I had to put my book as a priority, so I had to put everything else in the back burners, and unfortunately, being an investigator, I had to put on the back burner.
Tell me about your book. What was the inspiration for writing your book, and what do you want readers to come away with after reading your book?
My book is called, like you said, Legend Tripping, The Ultimate Family Experience. And it is a guidebook for parents who are looking to take their kids on a real adventure, to go look for Bigfoot, to conduct a ghost hunt, to go look for buried treasure, and to just go check out some of these mysterious places. Today we have kids that just sit around, play video games, don't get out and do anything, got very lethargic. And parents are trying to find something to get them motivated, And in fact, I was given some presentations on legend tripping, and at the end, I was taking questions, and I noticed a lot of the questions seemed to be focused on me taking my family out, and there were people that were saying, "How do you get them to do that?" He goes, "I tried to get my son to go camping all the time, and he just doesn't want to do it." He says, I said, I don't want to go out there. There's mosquitoes, and what do we do? We don't do anything. And I said, next time, go up to your son and say, "Hey, son, let's go on a Bigfoot hunt." And now you've taken a camping trip, and you've turned it into an adventure. And later on, he sent me an email and said, he said, it worked. Me and my son, we were going out, and we're having a good time doing it. So what happened was, the way we kind of called ourselves legend trippers, because like I said, I was doing the whole monster hunting thing, and my wife was doing the ghost hunting thing, but we were both supporting each other. She would come out with me on it, even though I don't think she's a real Bigfoot believer. And I would go with her and help her set up her stuff for her paranormal investigations. And we didn't want to quite get ourselves labeled as monster hunters and ghost hunters, so we heard this term called legend tripping. And that we said, well, that's pretty good, because then we can go ahead and encompass anything we want to go investigate, and don't get, and also we pulled in the ufology plus the buried treasure thing. And just to throw this out there for you guys up in Canada, I'm a big fan of the Oak Island Money Pit. When I was a kid, I read every book on the subject of that thing.
Yeah, I
haven't been up there yet.
there was a TV program about Oak Island that was canceled due to poor ratings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God, I know what you're talking about. It's called The Curse of Oak Island, and I tell you, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Why do it seems that you're all over the map. You're you're looking for monsters, you're looking for Bigfoot, you're talking about ghosts, you're talking about UFOs, you're talking about extraterrestrials.
Absolutely.
Why don't you just kind of focus on one and become authoritative in that one area?
Well, like I say, I do consider myself, quite the monster hunter. I'm pretty good about answering some of that stuff. My wife on the paranormal.
Right.
But I also like to go, if I hear about a UFO sighting, I do like to go out and check that out. It's not just, I don't want to sit there and, I can only go Bigfoot hunting so much time, especially in the summer where down here in Florida, it's really hard to go out Bigfoot hunting. But so we focus on, maybe we start looking into some of the areas that have, buried treasure. So we'll start, going on that. Yeah, I do realize, like you said, we're out there all over, but it also keeps, the kids from our family feeling really stagnant on something like, we're really getting bored doing this Bigfoot thing, Jack.
Gotcha.
Because we're out there and we're not finding anything. So I said, okay, well, let's go over this place. Supposedly this place has got a thing with gravity. Your car supposedly goes uphill. So that sounds pretty cool. Let's go check that out. So it just, again, it just starts the family from getting stagnant and starting getting bored on something. And we can, keep everybody interested.
I understand the interest part. I've got 6 children. We have 7 grandchildren, and they're a handful, growing up and keeping them busy and occupied. But taking them on these various hunts, what do you accomplish? I mean, the fact that you've got the family together doing stuff together is amazing. And hats off to you for coming up with this idea. But what do you find? I mean, beside the family value.
My wife, if she was here right now, she would say that's enough for her. But for me, I like learning about new things. And whenever we're out there doing things, my kids are learning stuff, not just stuff from books and all that. They're getting out there, they're getting just immersed in the area, and they're not sitting around getting, just playing video games. I'm getting them out there doing things. And in order to do any of these legend trips, they got to learn something. There's got to be some kind of background. They're learning stuff. And like my son was toying with this treasure that supposedly down in the Costa Rica area where supposedly a pirate, but there's like a mathematical code. Well, I look over and he's now looking at checking out math, trying to figure out what the mathematical code is now. So, it just kind of motivates them to learn other things.
Sure. All right, Rob, please stand by. We've got to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Exonation Robert Robinson is our special guest. He is the author of Legend Tripping, the Ultimate Family Experience. His website is legendtrippersofamerica.blogspot.com. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and around the world on the X Zone Broadcast Network. Don't go away. Are you considering calling a psychic to read your situation? Then consider David Champion, a psychic medium for more than 20 years with thousands of readings under his belt. David Champion will make you feel comfortable. He has proven to be honest and accurate. He's a straight shooter. There's no guesswork. What he sees is what you get. While he is a medium, most of the calls focus on relationships, not only love, but work, school, neighbors, and more. Need help with finding a job and preparing for the interview? Are you dealing with people who are obstacles in your path? For more information, go to davidchampion.com, $1.50 per minute paid by credit card with a minimum of 30 minutes. For your reading with David Champion, call 1-877-702-8598. That's 1-877-702-8598. Now you can dial in to listen to the X-Zone Radio Show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
The topic this hour is Bigfoot, extraterrestrials, monsters, buried treasure, and much more. The guest this hour is Robert Robinson. He's the author of Legend Tripping, the Ultimate Family Experience. His website is www.legendtrippers.blogspot.com. You say that your wife is a paranormal investigator. What kind of investigations does your wife conduct, and do you go and help her?
Yes. Well, the last one we got to do, we had a high school invited. They had some, supposedly the custodial workers that worked there had some sightings, and they invited us to come out there and conduct a ghost hunt after duty hour. And I pretty much come out there. I help her set up the cameras, and I'm just, and so she may stick me in a room and say, sit here and listen for anything,
right.
And I try to stay awake. And, that's pretty much, right now we tried to go get we tried to go to an old movie theater. And unfortunately, they wanted quite a bit of money for us to come in there. And my wife kind of said, you don't even know if this place is haunted yet. Why are you asking so much money? So, but,
all right. You've done monster questing, you've done ghost hunts, you've done UFO investigations. And with all the adventures that you and your family have been on, have you found anything to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that what you're looking for really exists?
Well, when it comes to Bigfoot, I don't have what they call proof that a scientist would go ahead.
Now let me just stop here. You're a former military policeman, I believe.
I am. Yes,
okay.
I was for over 21 years.
All right. So based on your experience as a police officer and your investigative techniques and the collection of evidence in order to come to a conclusion in your investigation, as a police officer and a criminal investigator, would you say that the evidence that you saw would actually stand up in a court of law?
Oh, boy, you would ask me. That's a tough one. Unfortunately, I would have to say no. Because, I don't have hair to be analyzed. All I have is footprints.
Right.
And unfortunately, everybody out there can say it. Somebody could have faked it.
Right, but as a police officer and investigator, and I know that if you take a plaster cast, it can easily be identified using the forensic techniques that are available today to search through hundreds of thousands of data bits of information to authenticate the print and possibly say there is a positive or there is a negative or it is unknown, but at least you would have had the print. Did you take a plaster cast?
I did, sir. But what happened was the plaster cast I took was over a week old.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it wasn't good quality.
Gotcha.
I took it because, the worst thing, when I came out there, I had some people who had never done plaster casting. And I said, we're going to go ahead and do these castings. because we can see where this animal is going. A little background on this story. We had 2 years ago, I had a hunter come up to me. I have his son as one of my students. He came up to me and he said during Thanksgiving that he had a skunk ape, as they call him down here in Florida, come walking by him when he was sitting up in a trail stand up in the Green Swamp here, which is about 30 minutes east of Orlando, where Disney World's at. Anyway, what happened was that the animal came walking. At first, he thought it was a guy in a ghillie suit, and he was watching it walk out in front of him, walking through some palmettos, and he looked